Hi, I'm Andy, aka Googleman, and today is my look at Google Collections.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's googleman.
Hi guys, and welcome back to aka Googleman. If you haven't done so already, please click subscribe and the notification bell below so you get told when new videos go live every Monday and Thursday. So today we're going to be looking at something that until recently I never paid much attention to be honest, and that is Google Collections. Now, when we teach, and as we look forward to teaching in the future, certainly I'm always trying to find a way to organise my kind of digital resources. Now, being a music teacher, for me, that means pieces of music that I might want to use in a lesson, and quite often I will use YouTube for that. Or if there are images I want to use, or web pages I want to keep to one side for use in a lesson, then now I could bookmark all of those things. And I can even put those in a folder. But to an extent, that is going to become unwieldy in itself. If you look at all the different topics and the different lessons that you do, you might want to curate things for all of those individual things, and your bookmark bar will just become unsightly and you won't want to use it. So Google Collections allows us to curate all these web pages and images and videos and things into one place. We can have it as a tab open, and we can access them really, really quickly into collections that we decide upon. What we're going to be looking at primarily today is how Google Chrome on our Chromebooks uses and links to its use on a handheld device. Because actually, even though you can access collections through Chrome, it is slightly limited, and to get the best out of it, you really need to be using one of the apps available. Now, if you're an Android user, there is a dedicated app for Google Collections. If you're an iOS user like me, then you're going to be using the native Google app, okay, the Google search engine app, and it's built into there. I'm going to be demonstrating using the iOS version because that's what I have available to me at the moment, and also using, of course, my HP Chromebook using Google Chrome. Now, of course, because I'm using Chrome within that, it doesn't have to be on a Chromebook. A PC or a Mac can do this just as well. Now, if this sounds like something that is interesting and could be useful to you, let's jump in and let's start with the iOS version of the Google Collections app.
So here we are on my Google home screen. Please note the health apps down the bottom. I'm going to go into the main Google app here. Now you get this main home screen, and you can look here at your recent searches in the tab just here. Obviously there's nothing in here, but I'm going to concentrate on the Collections tab. Now what I can do in here is create lists where I keep particular things. So I'm going to click on New, and I'm going to create one called Morning News, because what I'm going to do is find the BBC News website and add that to this collection for a tutor group. This then creates this wonderful little list for me. Obviously it is currently empty, and what I'm going to do is click on the search for things to add button here. I'll then just perform a normal Google search for the BBC News website, just BBC News. I'll do a normal Google search and click on that first thing because it's the one I'm after. This is just a normal website, and the only addition is a bookmark icon in the top right, which if I click on that icon, which I will in a sec, it will add it to that morning news collection. So you get that little note up on the bottom to say that it's been added to it. I can then go back and then go to the Google Home and then go to my collections page. I will see the collection there, and also there you will see the morning news collection. And I can go in and I can click on the website, and it will take me to the BBC News website just like it did before in exactly the same way. Nice and quick and nice and simple.
Now, I mentioned YouTube videos earlier on as an online resource that I use regularly in my lessons, and I use that for general listening. I also use it to play back the set works for my GCSE course. Now, you can add these into a collection as well. It's a little bit more of a workaround that needs to happen here, because if you go onto a YouTube page, normally if you search it and press into it, what you will end up with is a video player that pops up on the screen. I'll demonstrate that to you in a moment. But actually, with a little workaround, we can get that into a collection as well.
So here we are back in my collections page, and what I'm going to do is add a new collection and call it GCSE Music Extracts, because that's what I'm going to use this particular collection for. And to begin with, I'll treat it in the same way. So I'll click on Done, click on Create, and it'll take me to a page where I will now search for things to add. Now, in this instance, what I'm going to do on that particular search page is look for Mozart Eine kleine Nachtmusik third movement, because it's one of my set works. It's already searched there. Now if I click on that first video, which is the one that I do use, it takes me to that video player I mentioned previously. Now I don't want this necessarily. Now if you were in the if you have the YouTube app, it would take you there. What I do is I click on the three dots, click on Share, and then if I go down, you will find the copy, and that will copy the link to this video. You can do that in the YouTube app as well. I then go to the Google Home and paste the URL into that search box in the middle there. Okay, and what that does is instead then of taking you to the search results, it takes you to the web page directly, just like a normal web page now, but with that bookmark. So I'll press the bookmark, and then that'll get added to my GCSE Music Extracts. So I've kind of had to bypass the player a little bit in order to do that. If necessary, I could press change here to put it into the correct collection, but obviously I don't need to do that. If I go back to my collections page, I can see the GCSE Music Extracts with that video in there, and I just click on it and it's there ready for me to use. So here we are in my Chrome browser. As you can see, I'm just on google.com and I've just got a search page open. Now, finding Google Collections is really quite easy. You've got your Waffle menu over here, which normally accesses all of the apps available to you. If you scroll down through that menu, what you'll get to is Google Collections just there. You click on that and it will take you to that page. Now, as you can see, I have the same collections that I created earlier on, and I've got a favorite images one. That's left over from a trial I did earlier on. You'll see that trial in a moment. Now I can enter any of the collections like I did here, and if I click on a saved link, it'll open a new tab for me and show me whatever the news is at the time, because that is what I've asked it to do. Now, there is a caveat to using Google Collections in Chrome whether you're on PC or Mac or whatever, and that caveat is you can't actually save web pages in the same way as the app. So when I was talking about the fact you needed to really use the app to get the most out of it, this is the reason why you can't save web pages. What you can save are images, and this is something I haven't spoken about yet because it's what we're going to do now. So if you need to use a visual stimulus for something and you want to perhaps create a list to maybe pick from later, perhaps this is a really good option for you. So as we did before, in fact, we don't even need to necessarily create a collection for it yet, okay? I'm just going to go straight in. I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm just going to search for images of birds. Now, the reason I do that is obviously if you've seen any more others of my videos, you will know that I always have a bird image at the start of it. So it's a really common search for me. I can select any one of these to get the view of that bird there. I'm just going to move myself slightly out of the way, and under that image you can see there is that bookmark icon that we should recognize from using in the app. I can just click on that, and now what happens is that gets added to my favorite images collection that I had over there. So I'm just going to remove myself over and go back to my collections. If I go back into favorite images, and I think I'll need to, yes, there we go. I'm just going to reload the page. There we are. And there is that bird image right there for me. Now, at this point, I might decide I want to move that into a different collection. So all I need to do there is if I press select here and select the image of the bird, I can remove that, I can delete it, or I can move it, which is what I'm going to do now. I can choose any of the collections I've already created, but you can also choose, if you look here, to create a new collection, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to call it bird images, and it will now move that image into that collection. It's now gone from favorite images and it's now in bird images. Okay. What you're also able to do with this is you are able to share these like so many other things available to you in G Suite. So if I come over, I'm in the collection that I want to share. I come over to share and I can just put people in. So I'm going to just add the real world version of myself into there and just click on the send. I would now get an email notifying me that I now have access to this collection as well. So if you are wanting to just share a set of images, it's been your task to find a visual stimulus, you can share it with people. If you want people to be able to add things to that collection, you've got multiple people doing the same kind of research, they can all add things into this collection for everybody to see. Really, really, I think, useful. I think it's going to be a massive game change for me moving forward.
So there it is, my look at Google Collections. Now I'm sure that I've barely scratched the surface of everything that Google Collections is capable of doing. I'm sure there will be updates as things go along. I'm really hoping that we'll be able to start adding web pages and other links from the actual Chrome part of it, as well as instead of having to just rely on the apps in order to do that. I mean, if you're looking up things quickly, it might be that you prefer to do that on your phone anyway and then kind of pick it up when you get to your machine afterwards. I know I tend to look on YouTube more on my phone than I do on my computer for personal use. If you have other things that you know about Google Collections that you would like to share with us, please do let us know. You can drop me an email at my school address, aka.googleman@ewsacademy.org.uk, or just drop me a comment below and I will definitely pick it up. Please look out, the website is coming back as well. I've had a few issues, but that is going to be back up and running hopefully by the time we get to Thursday's video. In fact, that is the next time that I will see you, on Thursday, and we'll be starting to look at Google Keep and how that is another way, aside from Google Tasks, that you can organize your life, and especially if you're working with multiple people, it's a great way. So until Thursday, stay safe, stay well. Googleman out.